Good afternoon, everybody. It has been 6 days since I installed these two honeybee packages, and we're going to do our first hive inspection. Going to take a look, see if the queen has been released, see how the food is, see how the pollen patties are. I brought out more pollen patties. I'm assuming I'm going to need to put more in there. I'm going to take a look at the sugar syrup. I filled it up once a few days ago, and it probably needs to be filled again. I forgot to make some. That's not a big deal. I'll just make some later. Again, the way I have these sugar syrup feeders, they're in that top box, and below the top box is the inner cover, so I can take off the outer cover, fill the feeder without opening up the hive, so I can do that anytime really. So I'm just running through my head what I'm going to do so I'm not panicking or forgetting tools or whatever. Like I said, that's it. I'm going to see if the queen's released. Maybe I can find her walking around, take a look, see how much comb is being built. Maybe there's even brood. I have no idea. We'll find out. Take a look at the pollen patties, take a look at the sugar syrup, and put it all back together. So I got my toolbox there. I'm going to put my veil and gloves on, get the smoker going. Definitely going to need the smoker this time. And meet you back here in a few. Alright, so I hope that you can see everything. I'm going to focus more on what I'm doing rather than the videography this time around. But hopefully you should be able to see everything that I'm doing. Take that off, that rock off. Oh, I probably should get a hive tool. Take that top cover off and flip the top cover down on the ground so I can lay stuff on it. Let's first take a look at the sugar syrup. Well, we still got some in there, maybe about a third full. I'm going to take off this feeder cover, I guess I'll call it. There we go. Oh, they haven't gone through those pollen patties. So the queen cage is right there, so I'm going to take a look at that. Maybe I should have just put one pollen patty. I'm going to kind of pull these out of the way. Oh, let's get this shim out of here. I'll lay stuff down, try not to squish any bees, of course. You know, I like that J hook. That's the J hook. Outer frame. I assume there's nothing on there. I'm just going to look in here and shuffle these to the side. I don't see any comb on this one. Oh, they're starting to build up comb here. Hey, you know what I forgot to do? I guess they're doing okay without the smoke. They're really focused on eating, I guess. They don't seem upset or anything. Look at all those bees. The queen cage is empty. So I'm going to take that off. Give you a shot of what's going on there. They're starting to build that up. The yellow is nectar, or the yellow is pollen and the clear is nectar. See how this next frame is doing. Also, oh wow, yep, that's really loaded up. Oh yep, and the queen is in here. She's laying eggs. I'm not going to try at this point. I mean, you can look up pictures of what it looks like. In the bottom of every one of these combs, there's a little tiny white speck. Oh, and I think I see the queen. That's got to be the queen. Big girl. I'm seeing a little bit of burr comb that they're starting to build on top of the frame. So I'm just going to get rid of that. That's because I have the spacer on here. Next frame over. Also nicely filled up. Plenty of, there's brood, there's pollen. Oh, there's the queen. Oh yeah, you know it when you see her. I must have been looking at a drone before. Again, I'm not going to bother trying to show you. You can find out what they look like online. I don't want to drop this, and I can't hardly even see the screen of the camera. It's too sunny out. But this is just crawling with bees. Yeah, I was looking at a drone before. Queen has a very big abdomen, and she's not as striped, or she isn't really striped at all. So we got two frames that are maybe 30% filled. And this is much smaller, of course. Just a little bit in the middle. Just barely starting to get built up there. Move these pollen patties again. I'm just going to real quick go through these. There's nothing there, nothing there. I imagine this side is less built up because the queen cage was on this side over here. I don't know if it's just me, but it's seeming like they're a little more agitated. Let's get this back together. So I'm going to make some more sugar syrup. Later, and fill those feeders up. There we go. We're all set. Put the weight back on. Done. So let's go over to the other hive. All right, here's the East Hive. Funny story with this one. So I did put a little puff of smoke here, like I'm supposed to. When I recorded this hive when I was installing the package, but I thought it was too repetitive, so I cut it out of the previous video. But a funny little excerpt I should have left in there was when I put the queen cage in my pocket. I didn't stuff it deep enough in my pocket, and the bees are attracted to the queen. So when I went down to look at my pocket to grab the queen cage, I had a pocket full of bees and a queen cage. So just stay calm. Whoops, there's condensation in there. But yeah, we're down to about a third. So these two hives, at least syrup consumption wise, are very similar. Well, we'll see how they do with the pollen patties. Now I should put a little puff of smoke in here. Get that going. And let that cook for a second. Inner cover off. Oh, we got more burr comb. And they're filling it with nectar. I definitely should have put only one pollen patty on there. So you live and learn. They'll eat it up. You do not like that smoke, huh? That shim out of the way. So there's more burr comb here. Getting filled up with nectar. I'm going to set that aside. What I'm going to be doing is, come on, get out of there. I am going to get a jar, 2 jars that I'm going to keep in my beekeeping box there. One for wax and one for propolis. So I can collect it as I pick it off. So they've already eaten through the rubber band. So she was on, I forget, I think I see the rubber band mark, the third frame over. The first frame, I'm sure there's nothing on it. Not hardly even a bee. I don't hardly even need a hive tool. These aren't propolized in yet. We got some activity. They're barely starting to build that up. Here we have they're dripping and dangling off, so let's see, is that no, that's just a drone, I think. So we got lots of nectar. This is maybe 30% full. We got plenty of pollen. And by full I meant full with comb. This is maybe 70% full. And I see eggs. So we have a queen that's laying. Oh, there's the queen right in the middle. And I see some pollen, mostly brood in here. Lots of nectar in this one. Lots of nectar, some pollen. just a little. They're busy on here. Starting to build that comb up. I'm just gonna kind of peek at these. Yeah, those are all empty. That's good for me. Put these pollen patties back on. And that's that. Clean it up the best I can. So that was pretty successful. I'm going to write down some notes. Both hives seem to be doing quite well and just about the same. I saw the queen in each. She's very easy to notice. I'm glad I didn't pay extra for the marked queen because it's pretty obvious. If you can tie your shoes, I think you can figure out what bee the queen is. And there's eggs, and there's nectar, and there's pollen. I think possibly part of the reason why they're not eating those pollen patties that much is because there really is quite a bit of other stuff blooming. I mean, when you look around, it still looks pretty dead, but this, let's see, this pear tree right in front of us, there's some blossoms there. The blueberries over there are blossoming, forsythia, a bunch of the undergrowth sort of stuff in the woods there. So it's interesting having hobbies or tasks, whatever, like this. It makes you more aware of natural surroundings. If you're just sitting inside playing video games, you're not going to know or care what's blooming, what's blossoming, what the temperature is, whatever. You plant a garden, you know, now you're paying attention to the rain, and now you have bees, now you're paying attention to what's blooming, what has nectar, what doesn't. So it's interesting, and I like that. I like being more connected to the natural world that we're supposed to be a part of. So that's that. I'll just monitor their sugar water. I'll put some more in there later today. And that's that. I'm sure those pollen patties will last until next week. And I really think that's about it. I don't have to do much else. I come down here and just stare at them every once in a while. And in the cooler evenings, there isn't a single bee flying around, and you put your ear up to the hive and you hear it buzzing. And a day like today, they're going crazy. I don't know if you can see them flying in and out. I'm sure you can see them if I do that. They're busy and they're happy. So catch you next time. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. And hopefully this inspires some of you guys out there to do your own thing to be a little more self-sufficient for when the world collapses and you don't want to participate anymore. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but it very well may. So thanks for watching, everybody. Come on back for more.